Welcome to Empty Thoughts with Michael Tiemont. I'm Michael Tiemont. Hey, what's up, everybody? I know you're going to say it's late, and you're kind of right. It's a little late. It's not as timely as I want it to be. I finally figured out how to run OBS, so I can finally stream. I could finally do a video podcast because I wanted to get to some news things, and every time I have to do it by audio, and this is actually easier. I finally figured out. I am not good at broadcasting. Let me tell you, I can finally learn the equipment. Like, it takes me a while, okay? It's not second nature to me. I'm mostly self-taught. It took, I don't know how many YouTube videos to get up to snuff to be able to record this on video. I have the equipment, I have lights, I have a background, I have a professional-ish mic. I actually do like the BCD one, by the way, as a sound guy. I'm 20 years a sound guy. I've been doing this since I was 18, so 21 years I've been doing sound. I started on a Tascam 4-track recorder, cassette recorder. You literally just look at the thing and you're like, how did this guy learn how to run a Zoom Live Track LA? I don't know. It just took me a long time. Like, if you listen to my first recordings, I did a version of Seven Nation Army, and I completely some of the sound you hear in it is me not knowing that I was recording through the computer, so the computer was getting this distortion both in the guitar and the vocals, because I couldn't figure out, so I added a lot of echo, and it made this really weird recording that I'm scared to share with you. I made it. I made the song. All the beats are GarageBand, so it sounds corny as fuck. You know what? I'll save that for another day. I'm going to do Empty Thoughts, where I go over the music I used to play back in the day, because before I tried to do comedy or podcasting or anything, I tried to play guitar, and I was okay. I wasn't the greatest. I was good enough to play at the Olive. Shout out the Olive here in Vegas, where for years I would get paid in smoking hookah. Ramona's here with me. She's down there. She's to the left of me chewing a bone, so I hope that's not coming through the audio, but I can definitely hear it. Guys, how's your week been? I hope it's been good. I know it's 3 days over, so this is what happened. So I was going to do everything yesterday. Monday's my day. I was like, okay, this is when I start doing it. And then I did, okay? So I'm technically still right. I want this cord up here more. There we go. Oh, no, that's not good. Okay, there we go. Hang it up. Again, we're having technical difficulties a little bit. So I've been wanting to record. I was finally like, I'm going to learn this goddamn OBS studio, and it's really not that hard. Like, now that I've done it, I did an entire show in probably 45 minutes. I was able to pull up all the clips and articles. I finally figured out how to use the articles. I finally learned how to use my camera in the article. If I look down, I'm looking at my computer, as you can see. This is the computer. But I wanted to actually have a little more, instead of, because what I was having to do is extract sound bites. So I'd have to download the video on YouTube. I would have to then take that, run the audio, take the audio, put it into a thing. It was a whole fucking ordeal. Now I actually have things just perfectly laid out for me. Still doing the teaching thing. It's taking a lot of my time. Yesterday I had plenty of time because I had a problem with a quiz, and long story short, we got through it, but here I am. So, guys, I hope you're doing well. We're all going to die one day. Just remember that. Whenever you take life too seriously, we're all going to die one day. Some of us will die better than others. It's just the way it is. I've had a decent week. It's been all right. Just a lot of studying, a lot of hanging out with the dog. I kind of forget what day's what if it wasn't for sports and other things and people just telling me what day it is. But I'll be through the teaching thing soon. I'll be back on stage. It's been a while. It's crazy how busy things can get. There's only 24 hours in a day. And when you're spending a lot of that trying to learn how to run this goddamn I've put, I don't even know how many hundreds of hours into learning video. I'm not a video guy, classically. I'm doing this out of necessity because I can't afford a video guy. I'm one of those guys. I'm a self-going guy, but now that I know how this software just better not change ever. Please, for the love of God, never change OBS because I am so messed up if you do change again. So let's get into the show. It's been, guys, it's been a rough go for the corporations. I gotta say, it's been really tough. You know, I mean, what's a billionaire to do? You know, they try their hardest. They can only, you know, how many yachts am I supposed to let them get? You know, like, that's the question, right? How, and the answer is I don't give a fuck. Okay, if you're listening to the show for the first time, watching the show for the first time, this is how I look at all politics, okay? I'm generally left. I'm probably like a libertarian in a lot of ways. Like, for the most part, if it doesn't affect other people in a negative way, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you want to call yourself Satan, get horns put into your head, and call your wife nanny. As long as you're both consenting adults, I don't give a fuck. As long as people aren't harmed in the process. I don't mean this outside bullshit harm of, like, don't say gay bill. That's garbage. That's garbage. If it doesn't, unless someone's talking physically about fucking their partner in front of a child, have at it. It doesn't hurt a kid to know you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or that you're trans or that you have a different gender. None of this harms children, by the way. It does when adults make it this weird fucking thing. But if you want to know my politics in a nutshell, that's it. Like, I don't really give a shit what you do as long as you're not hurting other people. Obviously, there's gray areas in that. Well, what about, like, for instance, you could say assisted suicide is hurting another person. I think if a person, on their own volition, especially in the case, now it's great whether I suffer with suicidal depression, so I shouldn't just be able to go like, I'm out. I get it. It affects other people. That is something where you're actually literally hurting other people, like traumatizing other people because of your decision. So I get it. That's why I stay alive today. I have nieces and nephews. I have brothers. I have a brother and sisters. I have family who do give a shit that I'm here, so I'll just stick around. It's fine. This isn't that bad, okay? I'm a white guy in America. Let's be honest. My life isn't that bad even when it's bad to me. And that comes to point number 2. I understand that what hurts to you, like the worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And I might not understand it. Like, I don't understand when rich people get all huffy and puffy about paying extra taxes. I'm like, you're fucking rich. You're rich. You're the one who should be paying taxes. I don't mind contributing taxes, by the way. I've only twice been able to pay, that they were like, you owe taxes. And I was like, good. Because I'm contributing to my society. That's a good thing. Contributing to your society is not a bad thing. It's not bad at all. It's never been bad. Contributing to where you live, the people around you, how they exist. That's a good thing. I'm not a parenting person. Okay? I have no children and a vasectomy. I don't want to look after people. So let's take care of people, okay? I don't want to see GoFundMes, the number one thing in America in which we raise money for medical bills. That's insanity. In the richest country that has ever existed. Insanity. Fucking crazy. So when it comes to it, like, here's how it goes. Feed everyone, clothe everyone, give everyone medicine. I prefer everyone be educated because I hate dumbasses. And then, you know, we can extensively we can argue about who gets a yacht, okay? Make sure everyone makes enough money so they can get a jet ski or something fucking fun. They can have a hobby where they go bird watching and they can take a few weeks off a year to see that goddamn bird. I don't know what the bird is. That's not my fucking cup of tea. It might be your cup of tea. And that's okay. That's fine. That's totally fine. But let's make sure we take care of each other before we worry about who gets a yacht. After those things are taken care of extensively, let's worry about a yacht. I preferred public transit. Look, I left things off the list that I would like to have. Public transit just makes sense. It works so bad in New York that rich people take it. Not everyone in New York is taking a fucking limo. Okay? That's rich. They get on the subway. I knew a guy who made like $500,000 a year who took the subway. There's fucking senators and congresspeople in Washington, D.C. who take the subway. They take trains. Fucking Joe Biden used to take the train all the time to D.C. It's a great thing. Public transit is awesome. If you fund it. If you make it accessible, and more it's people about keeping more so they can get that extra thing. That's where I'm kind of like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You want a car collection? First pay your taxes. But I pay this much percentage. Oh, well, you make $1 million a year, bro. Your housekeeper makes 30. Pay her more. How about that? In fact, it'd be cheaper for you to pay her more, but that's how greedy you are. You're like, well, everyone else pays their housekeeper $30,000. You're a moron and you're selfish. Pay her more. If you're a middle class person, I'm not talking to you. If you're $50,000 paying $30,000 a year for, no, you shouldn't be paying that much. But you know what I mean. Like if you have a housekeeper that's in living house, you take care of her fucking, whatever. It's that shit's up for debate. But what's crazy to me is how many of our richest people in the world are the biggest crybabies and hyperbolas I've ever met. This was covered recently. Amazon unionized 2 of their warehouses, and this is the commercial they have for a bill in the DC area. Here it comes. I didn't say there were going to be glitches.
And by road, from stores in Atlanta to front doors in Tucson, Amazon Prime delivers free 2-day shipping and affordable prices.
I liked how they have the Eric Copeland music in the background, the American. Oh, look at all these happy guys. They're so happy. They got 2 days shipping.
But Congress is voting on a bill that could break Prime's guaranteed 2-day free delivery for millions of members and raise costs for families and businesses across America. Tell your senators, don't break our Prime. Oppose S 2992. Paid for by CCIA.
Yeah, that's the thing they go with. That's what they go with right there. Stop this bill. Stop this bill, or God forbid, you won't get 2-day delivery for free. And here's the interesting thing. What's in that bill? It was hard to find stuff in that bill. And everyone in tech is freaking out, not just Amazon. Everyone is. And here's why. This is from Wired. If you want to know how worried an industry is about a piece of pending legislation, a decent metric is how apocalyptic its predictions are about what the bill would do. By that standard, big tech is deeply troubled by the American Innovation and Choice Online Act. What is that? The infectiously named bill is designed to prevent dominant online platforms like Apple and Facebook, and especially Google and Amazon, from giving themselves an advantage over other businesses that must go through them to reach customers. As one of 2 antitrust bills, antitrust meaning fucking monopoly busting, of 2 antitrust bills voted out of committee by a strong bipartisan vote, the other would regulate app stores. It may be that this Congress' best, even only shot to stop the biggest tech companies from busting their gatekeeping, abusing their gate. Sorry, guys, it's small font for me. In the ball game, says Luther Lowe, senior vice president of policy at Yelp and a longtime Google analyst. That's how these guys stay big and relevant. If they can't put their hand on the scale, then it makes them vulnerable to small, medium-sized companies eating their market share. God forbid you don't have everyone. And this is the problem with unregulated, unfettered fucking capitalism. This is what happens every time. What you do is everyone consolidates power. They buy everything. Fucking Google owns Waze. Google owns YouTube, where you might be watching this right now. They own everything, and God forbid they don't own something. My job is to take over the world, God damn it. We are $1 trillion company, and we will not stop. The bill, which was introduced by Amy Klobuchar and Chuck Grassley, respectively, the top Democrat and Republican on the Senate Judiciary Committee, would be a disaster for the American consumer. In an ongoing publicly push against it, they have claimed that it would ruin Google search results. Oh my God. Bar Apple from offering useful features on iPhones, force Facebook to stop moderating content, and even outlaw Amazon Prime. It's all pretty alarming. Is any of it true? The legislation's central idea is that a company that controls a marketplace shouldn't be able to set special rules for itself within that marketplace because competitors who object don't have any realistic place to go. Now, there's plenty of this out there. Like Amazon, for instance. If you put in your store, you have an Amazon store, you are not allowed to offer a more competitive price outside of Amazon. So now they've handicapped your ability to make a profit. You can't make more profit because Amazon could make. Now you can't compete with Amazon. You can't compete with them if you're going to sell on their platform. Also, what if you have a really good idea, like an idea that someone could really easily reverse engineer, or take the dimensions of what you do. Let's say you make a weight, okay? Let's say you make a weight of a kettlebell. You make a kettlebell weight. It has this weird plastic shit on it so that it, like, when it hits the ground, it doesn't bust everything up, okay? Let's say you have that. Now you could take that to the marketplace. You're selling it. Now you can't compete with yourself, so you can't offer a deeper discount on your store, so you're forced to sell it for whatever price on Amazon. But that's fine. You're getting more customers. You're happy. You've bended to their corporate rule. As a business owner, by the way. Anyway, so now that you've got that, and they go, man, this is a really good selling weight. What if we made our own? What if we made our own? And we sold it on our own platform. Cheaper than they do. Because then we'd get all the profit. And they'd still get, like, their sales or whatever. And people would be like, well, that's an Amazon Basic, right? If you bought Amazon, I have a medicine ball. I didn't know that's what it was. I just thought, like, someone made it. And I thought it was like a Kirkland Signature thing. If you don't know about Costco, they have Kirkland Signature brand. And Kirkland Signature is their brand. So, like, Jelly Belly makes their jelly beans, but Jelly Belly can still sell Jelly Bellies. Like, actually, Jelly Belly's on the thing. I think Wrangler makes their jeans, and Wrangler's on the jean with Kirkland Signature. They just, it's a partnership. Hey, we want to make a cheaper thing. We want to go in partnership. This is the exact opposite of that, where they just steal your intellectual property, and then they sell it against you. And here's the main thing. So they're doing all this fucking scapegoating and bullshit. Marketplace because competitors who object don't have any realistic place to go. No business can afford to be left out of Google's search index. That's true. And few online retailers can make a living if they're not listed on Amazon. Very true. So the Klobuchar-Grassley bill, broadly speaking, prohibits self-preferencing by platforms that hit certain size thresholds. Oh, man, that's embarrassing. I forgot to get water. Like monthly active users or annual revenue. To take a simple example, would mean Amazon can't give its in-house branded products, the thing I talked about, a leg up over other brands. You know how it comes up first every time? Like even when you put in, you're like, I want an On It brand kettlebell. Oh, look, there's an Amazon one for cheaper, right? That's what happens when someone is shipping on its site, and Google can't choose to give YouTube links when someone does a video search unless those links are objectively the most relevant. Beyond that, it's difficult to say precisely what the law would do, and that's going to come up to lawyers, basically, that these guys have hundreds of dollars to pay for. So I don't feel bad. I'm sorry. Because it leaves quite a bit unspecified, like many federal statutes. It directs an administrative agency, in this case the Federal Trade Commission, to turn broad provisions into concrete rules, and it gives the FTC gives the FTC, the Department of Justice, and state attorneys general the power to sue companies for violating those rules. Last week, the Department of Justice endorsed the bill, an important signal of support from the Biden administration. Inevitably, both the rules and any enforcement actions would end up being litigated in court, giving federal judges ultimate say. Perhaps the scariest talking point is that the law, if enacted, would kill Amazon Prime, according to eMarketer. More than 150 million Americans, more than half the adult population, are Prime members. That's a lot of people who might have to lose their free 2-day shipping. Wow, Ricky. Oh. Why do I give a shit? Oh, well, you'll have to wait 5 days, or God forbid, get in your car, go to a store, which is probably just a big box retailer, and go there instead and buy your goddamn bullshit. That's a lot of people might hate to lose their free 2-day shipping. It's not really free, of course, if you have to pay a subscription fee. That's true, too. I don't use it every month. I use it like probably a few times a year. I will say I do like Prime's shows. They have good shows. As evil as they are as a company, they make good fucking content. The bill doesn't mention Prime anywhere in the text, but according to the Chamber of Progress, an industry lobbying group. Oh, so the people who are scared of this happening, who pay millions of dollars to try and change our senators' minds, are saying this, but there's no actual proof behind it, whose funders include Apple, Amazon, Meta, and Google. Oh, wow, those guys. You mean the biggest companies in the world? The prohibition is implied, Adam. It's implied. Fuck off. Fulfillment by Amazon or FBA. Amazon isn't just a retailer, it's a marketplace. A majority of products for sale on Amazon.com come from third-party sellers who rely on Amazon's marketplace to reach customers. And all those customers will pay shipping. Sorry. This is not an issue. If you're such a piece of shit, you know what's going on at Amazon with these workers and everything else we're going to get into, and you're like, but my free 2-day shipping, go fuck yourself. Seriously. More to this point, these sellers have to pay for FBA. Oh, so they have to pay for the right to be on the store in the first place. The Senate bill prohibits a company making preferred status or placement on the covered platform dependent on the purchase or use of their product or services. That seems fair. First of all, you're getting a cut either way, Amazon. You're making your money. God damn it. How greedy does this bald Lex Luthor fucking asthmatic fuck have to be? They are literally building a yacht worth, I think it's like $250 million. So big, they're disassembling a historic bridge, letting it go through, and then reassembling the bridge. He's paying for all of that. That's how much money this man has. It's insanity. It would kill Prime because you can't have Prime without FBA. I don't care. Fine. Goodbye, Prime. Goodbye. Guess it's just for music, and for music and goddamn Prime Video. Oh well. I'm gonna pay less. I'm not gonna pay $12 a month for your fucking content. I already pay for Spotify. That's what's happened, right? We all just have like, oh, why? I don't have a cable bill, but I have all these like 10 other bills of all these goddamn streaming shit. But the bill doesn't quite ban FBA. It says Amazon can't force sellers to pay for its fulfillment program to get the Prime label. If the bill becomes law, the company would have to let third-party sellers choose other logistics providers. Oh, you mean competition? Like capitalism is supposed to be? What are you doing? Hey, baby girl. Okay, my dog, thought she was chewing on my chair, just her bone. What the bill would do in that case would be to force Amazon to develop a system on its marketplace so the sellers can choose alternate fulfillment partners like DHL or FedEx or USPS or whatever. You see, we're not going to be able to force them to do things they don't want to do. For the God, for the children, for everyone. This is hilarious how much I don't care about Amazon doing this. I'll wait 5 days. I got 2 days shipping on like most of the shit that's recording this show. That's not true. Not my camera. I have B&H 5 to 7 days later. B&H did a fine job. Free shipping. Took me 5 to 7 days. It's been 2 years since I've got those cameras, and I'm just now using it. No, I've used them before, but you know what I mean. Opening up Prime Fulfillment would create at least the possibility of competition, as logistics companies would have a chance to win sellers' business. Yeah, it creates competition. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to just take over. Oh my God, Amazon's going to have to pay their employees. Fair. Anyway, it goes deeper into it, and obviously this is a big thing. But, I don't care. I do not care. It's just, like, how selfish of a person do you have to be to think that that's the most important issue? Is getting your tooth right, Ramona, right? Little girl. I have to keep the dog in here because she'll chew up shit in my room, so. Okay. It's the first podcast, right? It's the first podcast like this. Okay. And Amazon's not just doing that. Amazon recently had union elections, and they were going good. Unfortunately, they've also had some issues. Wait, this is not it. Nope. That was the thing I just did, isn't it? It is. Nope. Ramona, no. All right, I got a puppy issue. And I'm in the middle of doing this. Anyway, so, it was a Starbucks. So here's what's going on. Oh, here we go. Christian Smalls, a guy who was fired from Starbucks, fired from Amazon as a manager during COVID because he's the one whistleblower who called them out on not properly maintaining their warehouses during coronavirus. Come here, baby girl. And firing people for going home for being exposed to COVID. He's the one who called them out. Started the ALU, the Amazon Labor Union, and they won their first 2 elections. Come here. Come here, Mona. Lay down. She's so mad right now. She is so upset. No, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Okay, so here's what happened. Christian Smalls with the Amazon Labor Union. Here we go. All right, any second now.
Chris, what a journey it has been for you. Let's go back to when you worked at the Staten.
By the way, I love that he's a union leader and he looks like a regular person. He's not dressed in a suit, trying to be the next rich guy. He's a guy who worked with these people, helped organize these people, and won a union drive against all odds, against all union busting.
Island warehouse. What did you see that made you and others realize that this was needed and a worthy objective?
Yeah, well, my journey started 2 years ago when I led a walkout over COVID-19 after Amazon failed to protect us. We had no PPE, no facial mask.
He called all this shit out. He called all this shit out to Amazon, by the way, but he's like, hey, we don't have PPE. And they're like, just go back to work. He ended up getting fired for it.
No cleaning supplies, no real guidance, no social distancing. And I tried to go through the proper channels, but the company neglected to, hear us out. And ultimately, they just wanted to stop me from organizing by quarantining just me and nobody else. So I let that walkout, which terminated me 2 hours later. And from that moment, I traveled the country, advocated for workers' rights. You know, I didn't give up, especially after Jeff Bezos himself signed up on a campaign calling me not smart or articulate to make me the face of the unionizing efforts.
Yeah, and for our audience that may not know, you were described in a leaked memo, as you mentioned, as not smart or articulated. You were fired from Amazon. You were arrested once. How did that all play into sort of this growing?
This is on CNBC, by the way. So this is not this is a pro-business network, as we'll get to later. Yeah, fired. They talked down to him. They said, yes, let's make him the face. Backfired pretty bad. All just so like they can keep their union. Or keep it union-free, so that they could be union-free, so they could just boss people around, treat them like garbage, treat them like I don't want to say slaves, but like, because they're getting paid. I guess they're not. They're like sharecroppers. We're going to pay you the minimum amount just to stay okay, and then when we don't need you anymore, you're fucking gone.
Momentum for the unionization drive-in. Were you guys surprised winning this vote, especially since in Alabama at another warehouse last year, that vote went overwhelmingly in Amazon's favor?
What? Yeah, I mean, for me, everybody know I always have this calm, cool, collective type of attitude. So for me, I wasn't surprised because I know we'll be sacrificed. I know we'll be dedicated to this campaign. I know what I sacrificed personally. I know the work that we put in. And, we know our coworkers. We organize our coworkers. This is the reason why we decided to have this independent worker-led union, because we know the ins and outs of the company, even better than the company knows their own workers. So I just felt.
And that's a thing that a lot of employers don't understand because they're from a management. How many people do I have there? How many? And they think in a logistic way. And to be fair, I mean, I remember being a manager. I need X amount of people there. Sometimes as a manager, you don't give a shit what someone has going on in their life. You need them there. But it's your job as a manager and a leader, which is what they like to call them, leaders, to deal with that. People have lives. They have shit they like to do. Your fucking work, your business isn't their number one priority, usually. Well, it's my number one priority because if I don't make any money, then yeah, no shit, I get it. It's not that I don't get it. But they don't own the company. They're not making all the profits. When they get fired, they're done. Most of the time, if they're like a regular hourly worker. Mona. Goddamn dog. Mona. Stop. Sorry, guys. Yeah. People act like a business. Like, look at Donald Trump. He's a billionaire. He's had many businesses fail. I never took that against him. But also, that's how easy it is to be rich. Oh, that's bankrupt now. Didn't touch my personal finances, even though I owed all these other people money. But, fuck it. At least I'm living comfortably. Stop acting like being a fucking business owner is anything close to working hourly, where you count on those hours and you're getting paid the same no matter what. Well, I took the risk. Yeah, you took the risk. I bought $7,000 worth of equipment to try and do my own business. Turns out there's not a big business for what I do. At least at my level. Suck it up, Buttercup. That's business. That's capitalism. That's the thing you rail about that you love so much. You don't want capitalism. You want a rigged system for yourself. Stop saying you like capitalism. You don't. Capitalism means you might fail. And it doesn't take a lot of fucking brains to be a billionaire. Have a good idea? Yes. Make money? Yes. Build that thing to be bigger? Yes. And then at the very end, I'm going to make sure nobody else gets paid. I'm going to take those wages. It's not hard. If you're worth more than like 50% of the country combined with one other billionaire, guess what? You just exploited people. It's not hard to be a billionaire. Exploit as many people as possible and keep what they worked for.
The whole entire time, no doubt in my mind that we were going to be victorious. And we proved that on April 1st.
Chris, first of all, welcome once again. This started as a highly contentious relationship between you and Amazon to no small degree because people there belittled you, alienated you, thought they could win by making you the face of the union push, but you've won this round. So my question is on your strategy from here. Amazon's got a new CEO, right, since you started this. You are now a national figure in this new labor movement. What's your approach from here? To what degree do you think you can cooperate more with Amazon leadership, or to what degree do you think that's wise?
Why is it his job to cooperate? He's the people. The people. This is how fucking head up their ass every goddamn business person is. We're not working for you unless we agree to all the terms. We're all collectively coming to you and saying what we demand in order to work for you. Well, how are you going to cooperate with me? Oh, we're going to decide what's fair, and you're going to say yes. We're going to look at your sheets. We're going to make sure it's fair, that you can still have your fucking yacht, and we're going to make sure that we can pay our mortgage. What the fuck, dog? Mona! All right, guys, I got to take a break real quick. I got to stop recording. Okay, well, I'm going to check and make sure this worked anyway, so it's all good. What do you want, Mona? What? Come here. Come in here. All right, and I'm back. Sorry, guys. The dog play calls, you know. All right, back to Christian Smalls.
Well, they don't have no choice. You know, the revolution is here. That's what we just witnessed on Friday. We're going to organize buildings all across the nation. You know, in the last 72 hours, we've been contacted from workers all over the world. So they want to unionize. We're going to absolutely help them. We're going to get it done here in New York first. We have another election coming up in 3 weeks, so we're right back at the campaign, on the campaign trail. And once we're finished here in New York, we're going to spread just like the Starbucks movement is spreading across the nation.
Hey, Chris, you clearly...
That was beautiful. The revolution is here. I think what happens to people, and this happens with Social Security, it happens with... People forget that Social Security happened because we saw old people homeless, and they couldn't work anymore, and they were fucked. They had no medical, and they were just dying. And they die in the cold, and they didn't have homes, and, you know, the lesser of society who could never... People don't realize how little minimum wage is. I don't think people understand it. Like, it's kind of this weird thing. I think you can only kind of imagine a little less money than you have. Like, that's it. Like, if you're, once you get beyond, like, I think for a while, because I was making, 800 to 1,000 a week, and that was busting my ass, but I was making 800 with 1,000, which is more money than I've ever made in my life, as far as, and it's not that much. I know. Some people out there are like, oh, what a loser. Yeah, that's the most money I've really ever made in my life. And that money is double what I make now before the teaching thing, when I'm just doing DoorDash and how shitty it pays and everything. Another example of what the tech giants are scared of, huh? Exploit workers, and then they'll never be able to get their way out, and they'll be with us forever because they won't have a choice. Because the choice is go to a job and have someone boss you around and control your everyday life for $12 an hour. You can work for us, and after gas expenses and everything else, you'll be averaging $12 an hour, but you get to set your own schedule. Well, all right, I guess I'll go with that. That's kind of what I've chosen. Anyway, and this is what's going on, is people are going, hey, let's band together. Let's do this. Because guess what? Here's the thing. And for all you rich fucks out there who think you're just the genius of geniuses. Let's say you're the CEO of McDonald's who makes like 10 to 12 million a year, something like that, some insane number. How much does he make if nobody flips a hamburger? It doesn't matter what kind of genius you are. It doesn't matter if you're the smartest man who's ever lived in business. If you can't do the smartest man in business thing by someone not flipping a goddamn cheeseburger, you're not making any money and you're broke. And that's what unions recognize. Unions recognize that we are part of your profits. What's happened in America is people are they've rigged the Wall Street so badly that you're reliant on them in order to retire. You will not have your money grow at a good enough pace to ever retire if you just leave your money in a bank, unless you make fuckloads of money. So now what they've done is they've had Americans turn against their fellow Americans, because you always need that stock price to go up a little more. I need to beat inflation. I need it just a little bit more before I can retire. I just need a little more money. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. God damn it, this guy's making 15. Why does he need 15 an hour? I mean, when I was a kid in 1982, I didn't need $18 an hour. I needed $7 an hour. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. You completely forget fucking inflation when it doesn't suit you. And by the way, all these companies are profitable by the fuckloads of money, but boatloads of money. So it's not a matter of like, can they afford it? They can't afford it. It would just mean a little less profit. It's going to be a little less profit. Oh my God. But I want record profits. How am I supposed to get record profits? We can raise prices. Don't you dare raise prices.
Understand a big part of the Amazon workforce. But for those who vote...
I'm going to go back a little
Hey, Chris, you clearly understand a big part of the Amazon workforce. But for those who voted against unionization, what were their reasons, do you think, and what do you have to say to change their minds?
This is important. This is very important what he's about to say.
Well, I don't think we have to say anything too much. They were misinformed. Amazon spent millions of dollars putting them into captive audiences for the last few months, every 20 minutes, every single day. So imagine being put into a classroom, being drilled anti-union propaganda for months. Of course, some people are going to fall victim to that.
Becomes crabs in a bucket. Just crabs in a bucket. Just grabbing that guy. Ooh, I don't like what that guy said. Oh, no. He's making... Hey, boss man. That guy, he's going slow.
And I think that's what we saw. A lot of people just really didn't know. They were undecided. The company's telling you to vote no. This is their main source of income. So, of course, they went with that. But I think if we show them better, then we talk about it. We deliver a contract. We improve the quality of life. I think they'll all come around and be on board.
And that's the important thing, is that it's insane, like, that this is a thing. And then you got Starbucks. And we'll start with Starbucks. Starbucks just hired their old CEO back because, a couple of stores unionized, and people don't like that at all. No sirree, they don't. They don't like that. Not one bit. They don't like it at all.
The biggest labor story in America right now isn't getting the attention it deserves. Starbucks, America.
By the way, this is only being covered by independent. This is why independent media is important. Independent and just being able to have multiple sources. This is a hard story to find outside of independent. I first found out about it by Breaking Points. Everyone should subscribe to them. They're much better than me at this. Through them and Kyle Kulinski at Secular Talk. I love all those guys. They do an excellent job covering union because no one talks about it. No one else talked about the John Deere unionization. I told a friend about that. He's like, wait, when did this happen? I'm like, fucking months ago, man. Amazon's barely, they're making CNBC, and why? Because it might affect a stock price. Anyway, here we go.
America's biggest coffee chain is engaged in illegal activities on a scale that has never been witnessed in recent history. We've searched through previously unreported documents, uncovered new evidence, and found information that should establish the basis for a new major lawsuit against Starbucks by the Biden administration.
But will it? Will a multi-billion-dollar company that gives money to every politician, especially the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, you think, man, they wouldn't want that money to go away, would they? Be a shame if someone took that money, Biden.
In the last few months, there have been at least 63 different allegations made by employees of Starbucks, which contend the company has engaged in illegal activity against them. These unfair labor practice charges, which have been filed with the National Labor Relations Board, span across the entire country, from Buffalo to Seattle and everywhere in between. Phoenix.
63 people fired because they want to say in their workplace. 63 people fired, lost their job for what's supposed to be and was decided by the Supreme Court. Your right to organize is a right in this. Is supposed to be a right. I mean, we've got it with right to work laws and things like that. Anyway.
Memphis, Austin, Denver, Peoria, Knoxville, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Santa Cruz, and many more. The pace and velocity of these charges against Starbucks is increasing. More than half of the total NLRB filings on Starbucks' illegal activities have come in the last month alone.
Right after unionization. Unionization happened, all of a sudden, everyone's getting fired who wanted to unionize. Or we're talking about unionization. It's called union busting. And it only helps shareholders and CEO, the board. Everyone on that. Like, everyone up. All white-collar workers might not get bigger bonuses. I promised my wife a trip to Italy this year. I'm kidding, but you know what I mean. It's insane.
Through these documents, again and again, the charges made by Starbucks employees are the same.
Uh-oh.
Violations alleged of Section 8 of the National Labor Relations Act, which asserts that an employer may not interfere with, restrain, or coerce employees.
That's a law. That's a law they're breaking.
For months, More Perfect Union has revealed stories of Starbucks executives pummeling their workers with baseless fears and propaganda to smear unions.
You may be accused by any other member and required to go on trial. Charges and trials. Oh, my God.
Starbucks Workers United called a blatant shock and awe campaign.
They
to psychologically punish prospective pro-union workers. Starbucks subjected workers to captive audience meetings and threatened to close stores, and the company even fired a popular manager because she questioned the company's tactics.
So they sent high-end managers, too, to these stores. Howard Schultz ended up doing a meeting up in Buffalo where they closed stores. They literally took time. They've spent millions of dollars to prevent. And this is all about control of people, by the way. This is just controlling people. I want control over your life. I want to tell you when you have to go to work. I want to tell you when you have to come home. I want to tell you when you have a day off that you have to come in or you're going to lose your job. That's what right to work gets you.
Starbucks workers say the company is intentionally spying on their union gatherings, questioning employees about union activities. Workers are being threatened with job loss, warned that they'll be discharged or retaliated against if they side with the union.
And that's scary. When most workers don't have $1,000 in savings, most workers live paycheck to paycheck. I can tell you, I've had to borrow money because I popped a tire. It's embarrassing when you work 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and you still don't have money to fix what should just be an inconvenience. Tires happen, you know? I mean, it's just life, right? Tires are going to happen to you. You can't control everything. Fucking, there's construction everywhere. Nails fall out. It's not no one's fault. And I don't think you should be able to sue a construction company because a nail fell out and somehow, I don't know how you would figure out whose it was. Shit happens. But no one should be fucking panicking, as I did. Because I had a flat tire. Okay, sorry. I know I keep stopping. But imagine now that you're at the point where you're in this position and now you're worried about you're worried about putting food on the table. And they're saying, we're going to have to close the store. That's food going direct, and I don't have kids. For some of these people, that's food directly out of their kid's mouth. Even if you want to unionize, how fucked up is that? Well, these fucks eat caviar.
More organizing employees are stating that they have in fact been outright fired as a result of their pro-union activities. These brave Starbucks workers have not broken laws or tried to maliciously damage the company. No,
most of them just want a better work environment.
Crime, in the company's eyes, is engaging in their constitutional right to organize. And they're organizing because they believe Starbucks can have a stronger business, one that retains its workers with good pay and benefits, offers opportunities for professional growth, all while maintaining a better and safer workplace. But Starbucks
doesn't want to cede any power to workers.
So it is increasingly retaliating in ways that they are trying to hide from the public eye. Growing more desperate as the union campaign has spread to over 150 Starbucks.
And this is what they're scared of. Because if one store does it, it's not one thing. It's that thing in Bug's Life, where he's like, listen, we can bully them one at a time. But if they all realize that they could come together, there's no stopping them.
Stores across 27 states, Starbucks has pivoted its strategy in recent weeks. They've replaced their CEO, Kevin Johnson, and brought back their former CEO, Howard Schultz, who has a history of union busting, including widely condemned comments made during a mandatory meeting with workers in Buffalo last fall.
When he compared it to the Holocaust. Unions are like concentration camps. No, Starbucks is like a concentration camp. And that's really insulting because it's not like a concentration camp. But what's farther from that being a concentration is people having the right to when they work and conditions they work in. That's a concentration. I don't think the problem with the Nazis and the Jews was the fact the Jews said, we're uncomfortable. Could you please get us a blanket? And the Nazis were like, okay, that's not the same. No, it was a fucking hellscape. How dare you, Howard Schultz? Isn't Schultz German too? I'm just saying.
Giant is worried. Given that very few of its strategies have stopped the union movement so far, Starbucks has moved to the phase of straight-up illegality. Here's the proof.
All right, anyway. So that's been going on for a while now. And it's just... let's see. And here's the thing. Let's see. No. Yeah, there we go. Interact with this. All right. Here's an article. Howard Schultz. Let's see. Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz says companies are being assaulted by unions. Assaulted. Words are assault. No, they're not. Sorry, guys. Assault's assault. Unionizing is not assault. Unionizing is saying I should get a say in this too, because I give my time, effort, and value to you to use to make yourself mega rich. If the point of Howard Schultz coming back to Starbucks was to convince employees to turn away from the enormous organizing drive happening at his company, he's not off to a great start. Schultz officially returned to Starbucks as interim CEO Monday and held a town hall meeting with workers. The company refers to them as partners, in which he said that companies like Starbucks are being assaulted by unionization campaigns. Assaulted. Such as the ones at nearly 200 Starbucks stores throughout the country. Since the store in Buffalo won its election in December. The same day, an outspoken organizer and shift supervisor at a store in Arizona was fired, the latest in a string of firings of organizers across the country. Schultz, a longtime former, he's going to get sued the fuck out of, by the way. The longtime, and it's still not going to put a dent in the fucking company's bottom line. The longtime former CEO of the giant, who briefly flirted with running for president in 2020, thank God he didn't, was announced as the interim CEO of Starbucks. The end of Johnson's tenure was marked by a flurry of union organizing. And that's the thing. He didn't do a bad job. In fact, he brought up Starbucks profits. Here's CNBC actually saying, like, what the fuck? So there's been one other development. Schultz has said they're not going to do stock buybacks, which just enrich only. We're going to do that to, like, raise some wages. Yeah, you should have done that first place. What they don't want is on paper a contract that they can renege on. They don't want to be able to put into a contract, this is what we have to do. They'd rather just go, okay, we're going to raise our wages for a little bit, and then when everything's going to be good, I guarantee you they are going to slash wages once again and go right back to what they were doing. Here's CNBC actually saying that
this
union
is a company
makes
that
sense.
has a lot on its plate right now, whether it's challenges in China, whether it's some employees that are dissatisfied, whether it's the fact that we're facing inflation and higher prices for consumers.
Thank you very much. It's a delight to be back with you, Morgan. And I think that we're expecting a lot of magic from Howard. It'll be an awful lot of pressure on him. I think the symbolic move of the stock buyback cancellation, of course, that the market was not thrilled to hear about, was certainly a signal to the workforce and to Senator Bernie Sanders and others that he's certainly trying to rework the relationship with labor. He's forged a great bond with his workforce previously.
And look at that. All they do is grab 21,000% gain in stock value between IPO in 1992 and Schultz's departure in 2017. 21,000, and that's not enough. Grew company from 11 stores to 28,000. How? Exploiting people. Okay.
And he has a reputation for not wanting a third party in there. You know, I should point out that a lot of companies have done very well with labor management relations. We see, Fred Smith, who's not a returning general, but an exiting monarch of sorts. He's, been on the job for a half a century. And yet FedEx has done well as a non-union company. UPS has outperformed them as a heavily unionized company. Ford and GM have excellent labor management relations these days. And I don't think that it would be sort of the death knell of this company if they had a third party in there. I'm sure Howard feels it would be nice if they didn't need them. Howard did quite well when he returned in his third time. He took over from Orrin Smith once before, and Jim Donald, when he came back in, he took the stock price up from like $5 up to $50.
Look at that, 2008 to 2017.
I
Wow.
Say that Kevin Johnson did a great job as CEO, much better than I expected. He doubled the stock price, and while it's down a little bit from where he took it, the all-time highs in the summer, I think it's a shame.
So it wasn't under Schultz.
That he, and this was just not
it wasn't under Schultz. It was under this guy. But because he dared not let people get fed up with them, I don't understand. Schultz is such a worse pick.
Planned exit is that Kevin Johnson was supposed to be with us last week at our CEO summit, presenting our Legend Leadership Award to Doug Parker on.
All right.
So this is, I think, caught a lot of people by surprise.
So when you talk about a returning general, what do you mean by that?
Well, there are people who exit gracefully in a planned succession where you have somebody from within groomed, like we saw with Doug Parker at American Airlines. He's an excellent successor. Craig Menear at Home Depot, an excellent successor. These are recent successions that are much more ambassadorial. They're sort of passing off. There are some where people go off to stay on for decades and decades, like, Coach K just stepping down
Okay. Anyway, so that's him going like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, that guy was making plenty of money for the company. It's never enough. Never enough for these greedy business fucks. God forbid the employees want a little share, since they're the ones making the goddamn drinks that makes you billions of dollars. Anyway, okay, I got a real quick thing, and then my computer's gonna die. Literally gonna die. So we're gonna do a part 2 later tonight. Anyway, so real quick, Schultz just today was firing people. Just like the piece of shit he is. All right, this came out like a few hours ago. Starbucks just fired yet another organizer. In the 3 years she worked at a Starbucks in Michigan, Hannah Whitbeck. Come on, get out of here. Anna Whitbeck says she was only late to work once when she got into a car accident. On another occasion, she says her appendix exploded during her shift, but she finished work anyway because no one else could close the store. Wow. Better than I would do. I'd quit real quick. But on Monday afternoon, the shift supervisor and leading organizer at the Main and Liberty store in Ann Arbor was fired from her job, which she says was retaliations for her efforts to unionize her store. Whitbeck is at least the 4th vocal Starbucks union organizer to be fired since April 4th, the day Howard Schultz returned as the interim CEO of the company. And the store she works at in the Ann Arbor is one of at least 200 that have filed for union recognition with the National Labor Relations Board. Of the stores whose elections have been tallied so far, workers at 18 of 19 stores have voted for a union, including 2 in Boston that won their elections unanimously on Monday. Again, she was late twice. She was late once for being such a stellar employee of having your fucking appendix bursting and then sticking around to finish your shift because no one could come in. She got fired. Wouldn't that be an employee you'd want on your side? You dumb fucks. All right, let's do one more thing, and I'll come back and do, after I charge my computer some, do the Favre thing. Anyway, here is a video about the PRO Act. That's very excellent. Oh, there we go. Oops, didn't have that ready to go. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, oh, dude, I way fucked this up because I am about to add myself. And hey, what's up, guys? Here, let's go like this. 7 anti-worker shenanigans. The PRO Act would fix. So this is what the PRO Act is. It's currently in Congress. Senator Brown and Klobuchar, I believe, are in charge of it or part of it. Anyway, let's see this video and then call it a day. Come on. Oh man, my computer is fucking up. Come on. It's a 3-minute video. Please work. Oh, come on.
The PRO Act, short for the Protecting the Right to Organize Act, aims to restore workers' ability to organize for better pay, benefits, workplace safety, and fairness on the job. Here are 7 anti-union shenanigans that employers use now that the PRO Act will fix. Number 1, retaliation. It is common for employers to retaliate against workers attempting to unionize. It's illegal, but the penalties and enforcement are so weak that retaliation is still rampant.
Like Howard Schultz right now in firing that lady who only missed work once for a car accident and then stayed and finished her shift even though she had a burst. You could die from that. She wants a little more money because she makes the coffee in which you make your fucking billions of dollars, and God forbid she wants that. You're out of here, sister. Fuck
Employers are
Howard
charged
Schultz.
with violating federal law in over 40% of union campaigns. The PRO Act finally imposes real penalties for retaliation.
That'd be nice.
Number 2, delaying elections. Employers can slow walk union elections so that when workers want to organize, it can take months to get an election.
Okay, sorry guys. My computer is just far from the...
The PRO Act puts workers and the National Labor Relations Board, not employers, in charge of the timing of their union elections.
Yeah, like
3,
fairness.
contract obstruction.
Fairness. That's fairness. That's going, no, we want to have this election, and them not being able to go, no, we're going to push it forward. No, push it forward. We're never going to let this happen. Just keep pushing it forward.
Even after workers vote to unionize, an employer can drag out negotiations over the first contract for months or even years. The PRO Act creates a structured negotiation process to make sure workers and their employers can reach a timely agreement when workers first organize. 4, forcing anti-union indoctrination. Today,
Huge problem. That thing about them shutting down stores to meet with people who just go and... The reason you're anti-union is A, you're in management, so you're worried about your bonuses, you greedy fuck, or B, you've been propagandized and you have a Stockholm syndrome, because these are good things. I became pro-union being a manager at UPS because I saw all the fucked up things guys in management were trying to do to guys I used to work with who didn't deserve it just because they didn't want them there because they didn't like them for whatever reason. Is there a reason to fire people? Absolutely yes. There should be a process in which firing. It shouldn't be like, I don't like you, go away. If you think that's fine, you would have been fine under like any kind of dictator. Trust me. You would have been fine. Unless you disagreed with him, then you would have thought it was terrible.
employers can
You're
force
probably a
workers
shitty
to attend
manager.
meetings to indoctrinate them against joining a union. Workers who refuse to attend these so-called captive audience meetings can be disciplined or even fired for not attending. The PRO Act makes it illegal for employers to require workers to attend captive audience meetings. 5, right to work. Corporations have pushed state governments to pass so-called right-to-work laws in 27 states. These are laws specifically designed to hamstring unions by making it harder to collect dues or fees from workers who are covered by union contracts. The PRO Act overrides state right-to-work laws by allowing unions and employers to negotiate fair share arrangements where workers covered by a contract share the costs.
I thought right to work was great until I realized I'm not paying and getting all the benefits that these guys are doing. The union is a tax, and it's a tax you should pay. Because you would make far less, get way less benefits, way less vacation, way less sick days, and everything without that union. One of the things is it does take longer to fire somebody. Oops, oh no. It means somebody's okay for a little while. Oh no. Worst thing ever.
6, undermining strikes. Current law allows employers to permanently replace workers when they go on strike for better pay. The PRO Act makes it illegal for employers to permanently replace strikers. 7, misclassification. Employers routinely misclassify their workers as independent contractors in order to block unionization
Hey, DoorDash.
and avoid having to comply with
What's
labor
up, buddy?
laws. The PRO Act adopts a set of employer guidelines to determine if workers are independent contractors or employees.
Which would be the biggest hit to Uber and DoorDash ever. They're fighting the shit out of this. And let me tell you, as an independent contractor who's worked for Lyft, Uber, Postmates, and DoorDash currently, they're garbage companies that pay me $2.50 for a delivery. $2.50. Mike, why are you upset when you don't get tipped? Well, because I made $2.50. Max, you can maybe take 4 an hour. So that's $10 an hour if you get no tips. And then you take out gas, which is $5 a gallon right now. In 1 hour, you're probably going to use up at least a half gallon of gas. So let's take a 3-hour shift. How much gas have we used? 2 gallons, maybe? 2 gallons, 3 gallons? A 4-hour shift? 2 gallons? So $10 minus 40, $30 for 4 hours of work. That's garbage. And that's before you pay for oil changes, brakes, any other problem that goes wrong with your car. Because without a car, you don't have money. I'm an independent contractor, but if I turn down enough orders, I can get kicked off the platform. Independent contractor is supposed to mean I can choose who and what I choose as a client. If an order comes in that doesn't suit my satisfaction being paid, I should be able to negotiate my rate. Independent contractors for them can't. They will change your rate without telling you. They will just go, this is the new pay structure. Either you accept it or don't work. Go find somewhere else to work. Another famous thing Howard Schultz said this week.
Ensuring that workers are not wrongly misclassified and denied their right to organize. This does not mean independent contractors and freelancers would no longer exist. The PRO Act would just prevent employers from